For today's lesson, we are going to be looking at the factorization method of solving a quadratic equation. As we all know, there are other methods. Basically, there are four methods of solving a quadratic equation. There are basically four methods of solving quadratic equation. But for today, we are going to be looking at the factorization method only. And maybe some other times, we will now look at the other methods of solving quadratic equations. For the factorization method, let's say we have some equations that is needed to be solved using this factorization method. First, let's say x squared plus x minus 12 being equal to 0. And the second we have x squared plus 8x minus 15 equal to 0. And the third, let's say we have root 3x plus x squared rather plus 9 over 2x plus 1 being equals to 0. And we have to solve this by the factorization method. Let's start with the first one. The first one we have x squared plus x minus 12 equals to 0. In the factorization method, the first thing you need to do is that you multiply the last term and the first term. So when you multiply these two terms now, you have 12x squared, negative 12x squared. X squared multiplying negative 12x squared will give us x squared multiplying negative 12 will give us negative 12x squared. So the next thing now, you look for two terms that when multiplied will give us the coefficient of this x squared that we just got by multiplying this and this, and when added will give us the coefficient of x, and we know the coefficient of x here is 1. So what is the two numbers that when multiplied will give us negative 12, and when added will give us 1 minus 3 and 4 will work. Note, because I've prepared this before now. That's why I was able to know the two numbers without thinking twice. But in this vision where you need to think it, you just guess using some two numbers. Then any among those of your gestures that work for the criteria, then you use it. In this case, we are using minus 3 and 4. So now you split it, have minus 3 and 4. So now x plus x. Because when you multiply these two things, minus 3x times 4x will give us 12x squared. But minus 3x plus 4x will give us 1. So that is the main concept. So now you bring down your last term. Here you have it as minus 12. Bring down the first term from the other side also. You have it as x squared. Everything being equals to 0. So from there, the next thing is to group the term to be in pairs. Here we group this and this in one group and this in one group. So you now have it as x squared minus 3x in one group plus bracket 4x minus 12 in one group, everything being equal to 0. Okay, so from here, we are going to be looking for anything that is common between the terms in bracket. In the left hand side bracket, what is common between them is x. What is common between x squared and 3x is x. So now factor it out. Factor x out since x is common. And then you have x bracket x minus 3 plus, here 4 is common among them. You have 4 bracket x minus 3. Make sure that when you factor out the term, if you have to open the bracket with that same term, you will get back your expression. Even in the same case, you will get back your expression. So that is that about it. So now, after that, you now pick the terms outside the bracket, group them and put them in one separate bracket. And then note that the bracketed expressions now are the same. So pick one of them and still put in another bracket. But in a case where you got here and the expressions in the bracket are not the same in your own case, know that you might have done a mistake from here that you have to go and correct. Or the the factorization method is limited to solve that particular problem. So you have to use other methods. If it results that the expressions in the bracket at this stage is not the same. So but if they are the same, you continue as this, pick the terms outside, group them and put in one bracket, and then pick one of the term inside and then put it there. So now here you have that the two terms multiplying each other equal to 0. And in mathematics, if we have two terms, let's say v and u being equal to 0, that means either v equals to 0 or u equals to 0. Let's say v here is 5. So 5 times 0 automatically gives us 0. And let's say the u here, sorry, let's say v is 5 and u is 0, we have this. But let's say now v is 0 and u is something else, maybe 3. 3 times 0 automatically still gives 0. So now we are going to say either this is equal to 0 or this is equal to 0. Either 4 plus x plus 4 equals to 0, which means that x, when you move this to the other side, you have that x equals to minus 4, or x minus 3 equals to 0, which means that when you move this to the other side of the equation, x equals to 3. That means that we have automatically gotten the roots of the equation, where we have that x is equals to minus 4, or x equals to 3. So also this means that if you are to put minus 4 in place of x in this equation, you should get 0. Let's check it up. Anywhere you see x, put minus 4. We have minus 4 squared this time, then plus x, put minus 4, then minus 12. If you solve this, you should get 0. And also in the case of 3, let's put 3. Anywhere you see x, put 3. 3 squared plus 3 minus 12. It must give 0. That's the concept. So now for the next question, I'm going to leave it for you guys as work and exercise. Because if you understand the concept of this first example, you are going to understand the concept of the second one. And for the third one, I just kept it here to illustrate the fact that the factorization method of solving quadratic equation is limited. You cannot use the factorization method to solve this particular equation here, because automatically we know that in mathematics The only method that's not limited in solving quadratic equation is the formula method and the completely the square method. The graphical method to some extent is limited, but in general, the factorization method is the most limited in solving quadratic equation. So now we use this second example as your exercise, and the third one, try using any of the other methods to solve it so that you get your answer, and leave it in the comment section. Thank you so much.